Hey guys, how's it going? Today's video is going to be a little writing tag. I'm going to be doing the writing rituals tag. This was originally created by Kim Chance and Mandy Lynn. I'm going to have both their videos and all of the questions down below for you, but let's just get straight into the questions because I've been meaning to do this tag for a while and I thought that I did it forever ago and apparently I didn't, so that's what today is going to be. Also, I got my NaNoWriMo winter shirt, which is covered in cat hair, but that's okay. Question number 1. When do you write? Time of day and day of week. Really, just any day except Friday. Fridays are mostly my family day and catch up on a bunch of things, and I don't usually write those days, but the other 6 days are up for grabs, I guess. Time of day, usually late at night, so like 1:30 in the morning. I get off work at 1 o'clock, and I like writing after work because I find there's less distractions and less excuses not to write. I like doing my productive tasks during the day, so any chores, errands, stuff like that. But there's just something about after work, it's late at night, and there are no expectations of me, there's nobody around, so I just find there's so much less expectation on myself to be productive and to be busy. Even though writing, in a sense, is being productive, it's not as visually productive, I guess, so I can't see, the dishes being done. I mean, I can see word count, but I don't know, it just feels different. I don't know if this makes sense, but I find in the daytime I put more pressure on myself to do the more productive things, but at night I can take time for myself and I can just write and not be distracted by everything else on my to-do list because there's nothing to do. It's the middle of the night. So whatever day of the week I can, and usually around like 1:30 or later in the morning. Question number 2. How do you seclude yourself from the outside world? Well, it's usually 1:30 in the morning. So aside from that, I don't really seclude myself that much for writing. I don't mind writing around other people. My real life writing buddy Tony and I, we write together sometimes, and that's really nice. I don't know, I don't mind having people around. I always have cats around, which is distracting but great. And I've mentioned a million times, but I watch a lot of AuthorTube write-ins while I'm writing, so there's that kind of social engagement, even though usually I watch them on replay, so they're not live and I can't really participate in the chat, but yeah, I don't know, I've never been someone that needs to seclude themselves when I write. Question number 3. How do you review what you wrote the previous day? So if this is a first draft, what I do is I pretty much try not to look at what I wrote the day before because I used to fall into that trap a lot and get more stuck on rereading than actually writing new things. So what I do is I just put a little mark in my outline of where I'm at, and then I'll quickly skim the paragraph that I last wrote and then go from there. If it's revisions, it's different. So for revisions, I usually read about a page before where I'm jumping back in. So I read it kind of going back and going forward just to make sure that what I'm starting with does still flow with what I'm writing and to get me just more in the mindset of the story to make sure everything's cohesive. So for new projects, I look at my outline. For revising projects, about a page. Question number 4. What song is your go-to when you're feeling uninspired? I don't really have a go-to song. It really depends on the project and what scene I'm writing. Like if it's a battle scene, I'll listen to something from 2 Steps from Hell. If it's something sad, I'll listen to some sad songs, stuff like that. I don't usually listen to music while I write because AuthorTube write-ins. Question number 5. What do you always do, i.e. listen to music, read, watch YouTube, etc., when you find yourself struggling with writer's block? I don't want to answer I watch AuthorTube write-ins because I've already used that answer a bunch of times, but I watch an AuthorTube write-in. A lot of times I'll go over my outline and figure out why I'm stuck because I think there's a reason for writer's block, whether it's just I'm tired and my creative energy isn't flowing or there's a part of my story that I'm stuck at or isn't working. So I try to figure out why I'm stuck, and I'll usually have a write-in that I've already watched playing in the background. So I still have it there and feel like I'm writing with people, but I'm reading my outline and focusing on that. And then I kind of just try to figure out why I'm stuck, what needs to happen, and go from there. Question number 6. What tools do you use while writing? Lately, I've been using For the Words a lot. I love that website. It has been so exciting and motivational for me. If you don't know, it's basically a video game meets word processor. There's different monsters and quests and stuff, and they have a certain amount of words, and when you hit that amount of words, you beat the monster and you can collect items and beat quests. When it comes to video games, I am definitely a completionist, and quests are super motivating for me, so that website is a huge help. So that is one of my main go-to tools I've been using. Question number 7. What is the one thing you can't live without during a writing session? I'm going to assume this doesn't mean the obvious things like my laptop or a means to write. There's things that I definitely like to have, but I can still write without them. Water. Actually, I have 2 bottles of water right now. I drink a lot of water. I really like water. And water's like my go-to comfort item. First of all, I do get thirsty really easily. I have really high blood sugar, so I get dehydrated a little more easily, and I just drink a lot of water to stay good and healthy and strong and all that jazz. But I also drink water if I'm stalling, I guess. If I just need to think for a second and not type, I'll have a drink of water. I also do this in social situations. Like, if I'm feeling really anxious and talking to people, I'll keep drinking water because it gives me a second to not talk. So water is like my go-to comfort thing. So I would say I can't write without water. Question number 8. How do you fuel yourself during your writing sessions? Water. If you mean more like food type things, sometimes I'll have some snacks on the go, but not usually. Usually it's just water. Sometimes I have an energy drink, but I don't usually drink it. It's just on my desk so that if I do want it, I have it. It's more just the thought of energy drinks. It's a placebo effect, basically, that I tricked my brain into saying, that's there, you can have it if you're tired, and then I don't feel tired anymore. But that doesn't really count, so I'm not drinking it. So I don't know, maybe sometimes I have like some chocolates, or I'll be eating supper at the same time, but usually water. I am so boring. And finally, question number 9. How do you know when you're done writing? I'm going to assume this means a writing session, not my whole writing project. So for finishing a writing session, usually I have some sort of time limit in mind when I sit down. It depends on what else I have to do, how tired I am, what time I have to get up in the morning, because like I said, I usually write after work, and then I usually go to bed shortly after, or if there's other things that I want to do. So usually I'll either set a timer for that amount of time, or I'll have a word count in mind that I'd like to hit before that time, and then usually I'll just finish off the flow of whatever I'm writing, whether that's a scene or like something that I'm just finishing it off, and then I always start the next scene or the next chapter. I cannot end at the end of a scene because it makes it so much harder for me to jump back in the next day. Even if it's just a couple sentences of the next chapter, having that little bit of a starting place, hey comment, is super helpful for me, and it just really makes me kind of jump straight into the writing, which just helps me get into my groove. So I would say I know I'm finished writing when I hit either my goal or my time limit, finish off that scene, and then start another one. And that is the end of the tag. So again, originally created by Kim Chance and Mandy Lynn. Both of their videos and all their questions are down below. So hey Ripley, if you have done this tag or you want to do this tag, the questions are there, feel free. And also let me know if you have done or are doing this tag, because I love watching other people's tags, especially after I've done that tag, because then I get to see like how we're similar or how we're different, because it's just really interesting to me to see how many different ways of writing there are. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button to let me know, and subscribe to stay up to date with the rest of my videos. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, usually reading or writing related. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye.